Welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is your host Omar, and today we are going to talk about the FIFA Arab Cup. This cup is basically FIFA and Qatar's attempt at testing their facilities ahead of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in winter. Yeah, the tournament's going to be in winter this time around. That's going to be weird. The Arab Cup is going to take place at the end of this year. It'll include 23 Arab teams, and well, it's going to be a strange one. The group stage draw has been confirmed to take place on the 27th of this month, and it's going to include countries like Egypt, Palestine, Lebanon, Djibouti, who I didn't know was an Arab country until today thanks to the OmniFoot team, Algeria, the current African Cup of Nations winners, and many more. Now here's the thing, this is a very strange tournament in my personal opinion, due to the fact that Qatar is already under a huge amount of scrutiny and have been for years. I mean, look at how much talk and how much rage the Super League ignited in comparison to everything wrong that the Qatari FA and Qatar overall have done, the Qatari government have done throughout their tenure trying to put together this World Cup. It's insane. And people have been talking about racism all week long, and supposedly, this is unrelated, but the English FA and all of its corresponding leagues will go on a social media blackout or boycott in the upcoming weekend in order to force social media platforms to do more in the fight against racism. Whereas workers in Qatar have been struggling, and many of them have actually died in their effort to build the stadiums. They have been deprived of their rights, their passports have been taken from them. There has been a lot of scrutiny on Qatar, and none of it has been good, and FIFA has done very little to rectify the situation. So basically, my opinion on this tournament, as it stands right now, is that this should be a big tournament in regards to Arab countries who barely ever make it to continental tournaments, as it is. But at the same time, it's kind of a punch your ticket invite to a made-up FIFA tournament to check whether Qatar have actually prepared well for the World Cup. And that actually could backfire horribly because, as far as I know, the stadium that will hold the FIFA World Cup final hasn't even been complete yet. And should any other problems be brought to light while the tournament is ongoing at the end of this year, that is going to be horrible for the host nation. That is also going to be horrible for FIFA and its credibility. Now, apart from everything that has had to do with Qatar as a host nation, it should be fair to say that the teams participating are going to have a blast in a sense. I mean, we still aren't sure if fans are going to be allowed back into stadiums. We don't know much about the schedule. We don't know much about the finances. We have yet to be assured of fans' returns to the stadiums. And, well, it begs to be seen how well this is going to be handled. Because as a fan, you want this to be handled well, but at the same time, you can't help but be worried. You have some giants of the African game in general, apart from the Arab game. Teams like Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt. Their Asian counterparts aren't that competitive. Most of the competition is going to come out of Africa, so I would assume that an African team would walk away with the title. Most probably, if you were to say who the favorites are, I wouldn't include Egypt at the very moment. I would, though, include Algeria and Morocco. I would consider Tunisia as dark horses, but apart from that, I don't think I have much to add in terms of the teams I think could actually walk away with the cup. And this would be the first cup of its kind. I'm not necessarily sure if they're going to hold this cup again. Based on the reactions we get for these teams, hopefully it'll be a regular thing. But once again, I have to say that this is going to be a pivotal moment for Qatar in general when it comes to hosting a tournament, as we still have the FIFA Confederations Cup and then the World Cup. The schedule overall is going to be quite congested, and I'm not necessarily sure how players are going to cope with this, especially those who are going to play at the Arab Cup and then move on to playing in either of the Asian or African Cup of Nations. And in regards to my personal opinion, I'm not necessarily speaking on behalf of the OmniFoot team, but this is just my personal opinion. I feel like this tournament currently is more of a placeholder than an actual tournament, and I think its motives are more so political than they are football related, in which case I find it quite insulting to the teams in participation. But if it actually does well in footballing standards, then bravo to Qatar. That's all I can say. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Once again, I would like to also announce that I will be going live on OmniFoot's Instagram tonight at 11 p.m. to discuss the Champions League semi-finals. Do me the favor of following us on social media. Our links are in the description below, and I will see you next time the whistle blows.